Hi everyone, I'm back. Sorry I haven't been on here in quite some time. I've just been busy with life and getting my teacher's credentials, as well as continuing my writing. So today, upon my return, I'm decided to do something a little different. I am going to be connecting with some other authors and reading their works on here. And I just so happened to network with this author I met, who is absolutely incredible, might I add. His name is Marlon Rodriguez, and I'm going to be reading his story, which is called Aether Wuld. He shared the manuscript with me, and he gave me permission to cover it on here. So I'm going to be reading the whole book on here, dividing into chapters for each video. And I'll also be linking his Instagram in the description in case you want to see what he's up to. Like I said, very incredible person, very nice, and I bet you'll like him just as much as I do. So, without further ado, let us start with the introduction to his story. Introduction. Welcome. The little shadow opened his eyes, finding himself in the dark void pocket he sprouted from. The nothingness that surrounded him offered comfort, even in this new form. A physical body? He murmured, running his fingers along his hand and arm. He looked up past a breach in the void. Through it were 9 floating spheres of energy. Each had a core pulsating with vibrant colors. Front and foremost was a red sphere. Its sheen was duller than the rest. The red sphere's center followed each of the little shadow's movements. The darkness surrounding the little shadow gathered and formed a white sphere, similar to the rest above, before melding into a human body. "It's strange the first time, isn't it?" the man asked as he came to be. "Don't worry. With enough practice, you'll be able to take whatever form suits you best." The little shadow felt his face, digging his fingers into his skin. "I'm not going to lie, Lord Arcvadasz. This is a bit overwhelming. What happens next?" He smiled at the 9 orbs above. They floated in silence, watching. "Once the ceremony is complete, and I pass on to you my catalyst, you inherit all that I am. A long time ago, I dedicated my existence to this role, just as you did. But," Arcvadasz shrugged and shook his head, "even though I knew this was coming, I'm still a bit nervous about having my existence expunged." The little shadow frowned, clenching his fist for the first time. "I understand we must take these precautions, but, my lord, if I may ask, why not simply maintain your seat? You could continue your rule. You wouldn't need me to be your successor, and—" A tear escaped his newborn eyes, as dark as the void he sprouted from. "Apologies, my lord, I do not wish for you to go." Arcvadasz placed a hand on the little shadow's shoulder. "I taught you all I know, but my existence was one littered with grievous mistakes. Even if I wanted to maintain my seat—" The High Spirit shook his head. "This is my atonement, and you must be the one to right my wrongs." It shouldn't have to be me, though. Surely there's something we can do, something that you don't—" Arcvadasz squeezed the little shadow's shoulder. "I'm truly sorry." The little shadow wiped the steady flow of tears from his face while huffing. "You don't need to apologize to me, my lord. I promise you I will fulfill my duties at any cost." "See that you do," Arcvadasz said. He took off the amulet from around his neck, a bronze piece with a silver tip. Arcvadasz stared at the catalyst in his palms and looked up at his companions. "It's truly been a pleasure. Be good to my successor, please. Not that I have a way to enforce that." Arcvadasz took one last deep breath. "All right, hold out your hands." The little shadow did as his mentor instructed, sniffling. "You truly are a kind one." Arcvadasz released the amulet in the air above his successor's palms. It floated as white smoke absorbed Arcvadasz, wrapping around the amulet. "Wear this well. The ritual will be complete as soon as you take it into your possession. I'm ready when you are." The little shadow stared at the amulet. "I'll do my duty well." He closed his eyes and took it, placing the catalyst around his neck. The smoke enveloped him, becoming one with his very being. After opening his eyes, he found himself in the void, alone. A few moments later, one of the 9 from above spoke. "Welcome back, Lord Arcvadasz." Arcvadasz wiped the tears from his cheeks and ascended from the void. Crossing through the breach, he floated into a simple stone room littered with runic carvings and focus circles. Even to Arcvadasz, none of them made any sense. He focused his attention on the orbs surrounding him. "I am ready to begin. Resume my duties." The cold red sphere took the form of a woman with antlers and verdant flaming hair. A tiara emerged from her skin and weaved itself through her hair. "Welcome back, Arcvadasz. In case you had forgotten, I am Tuzarok, the High Spirit of Flame. Are you prepared?" Arcvadasz hesitated. "Is Lord Tuzarok sighed. "Arcvadasz, the mourning for the little shadow in the void pocket below has ended." Her eyes suggested otherwise. "You are now, and always have been, Lord Arcvadasz, the High Spirit of Death. Do you understand?" Arcvadasz shut his eyes and nodded. Tuzarok's cold red eyes locked with the amulet around his neck. "Arcvadasz, how many catalyst wielders are there meant to be?" 10 in total. "And yet there are 11. She hesitated. With a frustrated voice she continued. "You failed to eliminate trespassers on sacred ground. You allowed them to desecrate monuments and ancient relics with their mere presence, and worst of all, you allowed those trespassers to take the Catalyst of Time, which, if you do not remember, was never meant to be wielded. The last time Aether Wuld was in this much danger was when the Sotolo first bore their way into our reality from their own. What do you have to say for this?" "I have erred," Arcvadasz agreed, his head bowed. "By my name, and the name of the world, I will undo this wrong. I will hunt the thieves, reap their souls, and return the Catalyst of Time to its rightful place." Tuzarok raised her chin. "Well spoken. You still have the followers you amassed, through the ages, as well as the souls you've reaped at your disposal, but you will not receive any aid from the 9 of us. This is your blunder, so you shall see it through." Arcvadasz nodded. "I understand." Out of seemingly nowhere, an eyeball unfurled into existence, staring at Arcvadasz, then another and another until they completely surrounded him. Irises of every color, pupils of every shape and size stared at him. They weren't physically present or visible, but Arcvadasz could see them, just as they saw him. Tuzarok's eyes were the most intense of all. "We'll be watching, Arcvadasz." And that's the introduction. Stay tuned for the following chapters, and I know that you will enjoy this story just as much as I have. And with that, be sure to check out Marlon Rodriguez at his Instagram below, and be sure to like and subscribe. See you soon.